Yokoso minasan, I'm Leo and I'm the professional Weeb, and today I'm here to react to March Comes In Like a Lion episode 3. um, it's been a while since I watched the second episode of this show because I had a lot of trouble with university, and yeah, basically I made a whole update video with all the things that are going on this channel, and basically the format of the reactions has changed a little bit. If you only watch the first time I've uploaded the first two episodes, you will notice that this time the episode will be full length instead of with the video in the corner somewhere. That's mainly because YouTube copyright is yeah, it's really yikes. But hopefully you guys will stick with me. Hopefully you'll still enjoy the reaction in this format, because this anime still, I feel like it has so much more to offer. We only barely got like our foot a bit wet. We're only getting into the story right about now. So in the last episode, a lot of characters were introduced. First of all, we have his rival, the chubby guy. He's quite funny. Hopefully we'll get to learn more about him soon, but I don't think it will be that soon, except if they're going to play a match, because I can see them having to play against each other in, I don't know, like an episode or two from now on, because in the previous episode Rei just beat Issa, the tall guy, he and Smith. That's what I remember about them, being tall. They were introduced as well. I really like their character, but I'm wondering where in the story, what will they do in the future of the story. I don't think Issa and Smith will play a very big part for the immediate future, to say so, but I believe they will come in later, at a later part of the show, maybe like 10 episodes or so, when Rei will have some kind of struggle, or maybe if he will be bullied by someone and they will kind of help him get over it. But more importantly, Akari was finally introduced. Well, finally, it was the second episode, but yeah, Akari was introduced, and she's a really cool character. I really like her. In the title of my previous reaction, I said that she was the best girl, and so far I'm pretty much sticking to it, because she's the one who helped Rei when he was struggling the most so far, and we know that she's a really nice girl. But one thing that I'm hoping to see, if not in this episode, in the next one, is more about the middle sister. I believe her name was Hina or Hana. Hina, I believe it was. But yeah, the middle sister. I would like to learn more about her and her character, because so far she didn't get too much characterization other than the comic moments, the comic relief moments where she's like really happy or really in a hurry to school, something like that, and they make it all funny. But I believe that's just her way to cope with her problems, because we know their parents died as well. They don't have parents, just like Rei. So they probably... I believe the older sister got over it a lot easier than the middle one. I am fairly confident that the middle sister still is struggling with maybe depression or something like that, even though she doesn't show it at all. That's, I don't know, the kind of feel that I get from her character. She still holds a lot of trouble inside her heart, and hopefully she gets to open more to us. I don't think we'll get too much about Momo, because she's obviously way too young to have like a complex character. But yeah, I want to know more about the middle sister Hina, and maybe this episode, if not maybe the next one, but I really hope that sometime soon she gets some characterization, because right now, other than Rei, I think she's the character that I'm interested the most out of the whole cast so far. Maybe they'll introduce some new characters, but the cast is already quite big, and I believe they kinda have to give us more info on the characters that we already have, and then maybe move on to newer characters. But yeah, I rambled on enough at the beginning of this episode. By the way, guys, before getting into it, episode 4, the next episode, should be on Patreon the moment this episode goes live. So if you want to watch that, you can support me on Patreon, and you can watch it a week earlier than people on YouTube. So yeah, please check it out. This episode will be also on Patreon with the actual video on the background. If you want to watch it on a single device without having to split screen, that's that. But yeah, I sold off enough. So let's get into this episode. So let's start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Alright, so we're starting with the opening. Let me fix my volume. It's really, really loud for me. Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of song that really grows on you after a while, you know? The first time I watched the opening, I was like, I don't know, so. I really liked the visuals, but with the song, I liked it, but I wasn't like loving it, you know? But I've listened it more. I even watched it on YouTube like a lot of times. So it really grew on me. I think it's a really, really strong opening after watching it multiple times. It's one of those openings that grows on you over if you listen to it more and more. But yeah, I love the visuals from the first time watching it. I think it's really powerful from that standpoint. And really, I can't wait to see more about Rei's past and what he's feeling exactly. And how will he overcome at the end of the day this whole situation. Hopefully there won't be too much pain. I really don't want to cry a lot, but I feel that there will be points later on in the show where I'll cry. But yeah, let's see. Okay. Modern shogi matches. Oh, so he probably was studying. Oh yeah, because he said he had to play a match today. I wonder who is playing against. Maybe the chubby guy? I don't know if he faces him next or if he has to overcome another opponent. Okay. Yeah, it's Nikaido. It's the chubby guy. So they're fighting already. I was expecting maybe like episode 5 or 6, so you can have that middle of the season high point, you know? But apparently they do it in episode 3. Oh. We're going to see a flashback from their past. I don't know, but okay. Interesting. We'll get to learn how they became rivals for the first time. Is shogi popular among children in Japan? I guess chess is popular over here, but oh, I don't know about shogi in Japan. I really am not sure how popular it is. Okay, so they played against each other a bunch, and now it's the semifinals. So much sweat. Oh. Damn, poor guy. Obviously, he's a bit overweight, but should it be that bad? I don't think it should be that bad. I mean, he can sweat a lot, but he looks like he's really, really ill or something. Like, yeah, exactly. He looks like he's anemic or something. Like, and obviously, shogi matches apparently last for a long time or few hours, something like that. They can end up lasting. He's such a nice guy, but at the same time, that's so BM, you know? He's like trying to help him by beating him as fast as possible, but obviously that's that's also kind of disrespectful in a way, you know? Trying to beat him as fast as possible. Okay, so obviously he doesn't want to give up. He wants to betray. He looks like he's going to puke or something. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully Ray doesn't win because he fainted or something. That would be terrible. Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't try to end the game as fast as possible. That's just disrespecting him. You should treat him as an equal when you're playing against him. Because obviously he's determined and obviously he likes the game as much as you do. Damn, don't they have like a fan or something if it's so hot? How are the adults letting this poor guy play in this state? You know, that's on them as well. Like, how can you organize a tournament and leave the poor guy being drenched like that? Man. Eh? I kind of feel bad for Nikaido. I see. Well, they have an interesting background story. I wonder. I don't think Nikaido beat him today, though. It will be an interesting interesting change of story for Ray. But so far he seems to be like this genius that nobody can reach. So I don't think Nikaido will win today. But I still, I think I'm cheering for Nikaido actually. After that background story, I'm kind of liking him a lot. So yeah, Gambare Nikaido. At least they're playing inside this time. Oh my god. Is that a JoJo reference? uh. Will those two be used as comic relief from now on? Hopefully not just that, but it's nice that they're still around. How I like how he changed the art style for him. So it's hot today as well. I'm thinking that maybe like a repeat of the previous time they faced will happen today, because yeah, today seems to be like a really hot day as well. Hopefully he doesn't get to suffer. Nikaido doesn't get to suffer as much as he did the last time. Since they're playing inside, I think it should be easier for him to handle the heat. That's cool. We get some character development through the game actually. To the way Kiriyama explains how he changed since the last time they faced. That's cool. I wasn't paying attention. What was the time when they first started the match? Because I think they'll show the clock as the game goes on. Because I'm wondering how long exactly are they going to play. Okay, so yeah, it's a repeat of the. Yeah, that's true. It's better than the previous time. But does Nikaido have like a health problem or something? Because yeah, well, I can understand that he's a bit on the heavier side and he sweats a lot because of the heat. He shouldn't be feeling this bad, right? Only if he has some kind of medical problem, something along those lines. We'll probably get to see if that's the case or if he's just sensible to heat. Oh. Oh. So he definitely got a lot better since the last time they faced. Ray didn't see that coming, so Nikaido might actually be an actual rival that could go head to head with him. Yeah, but I still don't see Ray losing, even though it will be interesting. He'll probably lose later on in the series, but so far I don't see him losing in like at least the first half of the season or so. He probably beat everyone. Unless a new really overpowered character gets introduced, I don't see him losing anytime soon. Damn. So it's already night. Yeah, evening. So a game can go on for pretty much an entire day. Well, everybody else seems to have finished. They are the last two fighting. Yeah. That was expected. But it's nice to see that he grew a lot and he even surprised Ray at a point in the match. Yeah. I bet they'll probably have to play against each other in the future as well. Hopefully Nikaido will win later on in the series because I really want him to succeed at some point. Oh yeah! The guy was on a vacation. He's a personal butler or whatever he is. So that's so sweet, you know. Oh. Go to hospital. So I guess he actually has a medical problem then. Oh, so he has problem with his kidneys. Damn. So that's it. That's why he has trouble with heat. His butler is such a nice guy. Yeah, that's the spirit, man. You go for it. I want to see you succeed as well. Damn. I didn't think I'd like him as much when he was first introduced, but Harunobu Nikaido is a great character. Beyond the Night Sky. So the second part of the episode. The first half's already over. That was really fast. Okay, so back to the sisters he goes. This soundtrack is cool. It's really nice. Really fitting for this kind of evening when you walk home alone. They're such nice as well to him. Oh, they even have for their grandma and mom. The cat's one as well. Huh. They're a really cool family. But I'm wondering for his... Yeah, for their grandpa, it should be really rough. You know, if you think about it, his wife and his daughter died. It must be really painful for him as well. But he seems to be a strong person. Oh, so that's what they're for. Wow. That's actually so... It's really cute in a way, but I believe it's tradition. It's a really nice tradition. It's hard departing from people that you love. Obviously. Wow. This actually gets me a little bit emotional because it's so sad when I think about it. Just imagine how hard it would be for you losing your mother and your grandma. It would be really hard, you know. People that you... Obviously they are very close with them too. So it must be really painful for all of them. In a way they're all brought together because of their painful experiences in the past. Isn't it really late to go to the convenience store? Maybe we'll learn more about her character. Okay, so... Obviously he knows she doesn't do that normally. It's good that he sent Ray to go after her. So she'll probably go... I imagine somewhere to cry where nobody can see her, because she's the kind of person that's always happy and always brings up the mood when she's with somebody. she can't bring herself to cry together with family, I imagine, so she has to be someplace alone where nobody can see her. At least that's what I imagine, that's where I imagine she's going. If that's the case, you know, the cast of this show gets so much more interesting if every character has like is written such well, you know. They have very interesting personality and character in general, and they act as normal people, you know. They are not characters in a story, they're very much real. Aww. That's so sad. Aww. Poor girl. She has it really rough. But she's strong as well. She didn't want to cry in front of everybody else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's okay, you should try. Ray must think about his parents as well now, you know. Yeah, exactly. He's thinking about his family as well. Wow. That's actually so sad. He blocked those memories. But they're still inside him, somewhere deep. No, I don't think it was. Man, this is such a such a good scene. The atmosphere of the show in general is so beautiful. Wow, wow. I got chills from that. That was fantastic. Really well done scene. We got to learn more about Hina as well. So yeah, that was something I was expecting at the beginning of the episode. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional because I'm thinking about what they must be thinking, so, and it kind of gets to me as well. But what we did learn in this episode, we got information on both Nikaido, and Hina. That's something that I wanted to see, I guess. I said at the beginning of the episode that's something that I'm interested in, and we did get just that. But yeah, let's just watch the ending for now. I'll keep the discussion for after the endings. But you know, watching this episode, I kind of got a feeling of emptiness inside. Especially the later part when, yeah, especially when Hina was crying, it really hit me at that point. I really like this scene in the ending. Hopefully they'll get more into his past self in the future of the show, in the near future, I mean. Okay guys, so March Comes In Like a Lion episode 3 was a very powerful episode, and usually when I watch anime I give props to either the animation studio that did the job. Sometimes I give the props to the voice actors if they really express the character's feeling in a very, very realistic way. And sometimes I give props to the audio department, especially if the soundtrack fits really well and it's really makes the experience much more powerful. But in this case, in the case of March Comes In Like a Lion, for the third episode of the show, I think we have to give props to the director of the episode, because he did such a great job at putting together this episode. I assume the material for this episode was from two different manga chapters or something like that, but the director did a really good job at putting them together in one episode that also made sense, and it was really beautiful in its execution. Because if you think about it, we had two comparisons in a way. We had, first of all, in the first half of the episode, we had Rei's match against the Nikaido in the past compared to their match now, and we can see how they change in this time frame. And in the second part of the video, we have the idea of family itself, the family of the three sisters and their lost mother and grandmother, compared to Rei's lost family, his parents that he lost as well. And I believe it was really beautiful the way it started as well, with Rei alone, just eating alone, and the way it ended with them together. In general, the information was communicated beautifully, and obviously the writer has huge props for writing the story itself, but I believe the director did a very good job at putting together the material he had in this episode. A lot of things that you maybe didn't notice during the episode, or you didn't think about it too much, I think were put together for a very specific reason, and it was really cool in a way to see those two comparisons, the one at the beginning and the one at the end. It was really a really balanced episode. I don't know how to put it. It was a great job by the studio and by the team that decided exactly the order of the frames and the scenes and whatnot. So yeah, as far as story goes, this episode I think mainly focused on 4 characters. Well, it did focus especially on 2 of them, but we got information on the side for the 2 other characters. So the first main character that the episode really focused quite a bit was Nikaido, obviously. With the shogi match he had against Rei in this episode, his growth as a character was portrayed. But not only that, other than his growth, his strength as well, his willpower itself was really something that came through from their scenes. And we see that even in the past, he didn't change that much in this aspect. He was willing to go to the full length in order to reach his goal, in order to win at the game he loves. And we see that again. He's still a very strong character, and even by the end, after he's defeated, he still swears that he'll win next time. And that's something you really want in a character. That's something that really makes your character likable if you think about it. He's very much like a shonen protagonist in a way, very much like I don't know, pretty much every main character, like Soma Yukihira for instance, who lost to his father a bunch of time, and time after time again he comes and challenges him again and wants to beat him sometime in the future. I feel that Nikaido really has this property of like a shonen hero, and maybe that's why I was so attached to him, and I was even cheering for him during this episode. But yeah, he's in general a really nice character, but he has medical problems. We found out I guess in this episode that he has some kind of kidney problems. I'm not a medic, and I don't exactly know what kind of symptom he may have. If you guys know, you may leave in the comments what kind of illness he has or what exactly he suffers for. But yeah, basically from what I have seen, he can't really handle heat too well, and it really puts him in pain if he has to sweat a lot. So yeah, that's about Nikaido. He's really cool character. He really grew on me. He's really up there on my my favorite character in this show list. So I'm looking for what his development will be in the series, because I think he'll play a very important role later on, and I really hope by the end of the show he actually gets his win, because something about his personality makes you want to see him win. So I'm really looking forward for the next time they have a rematch. Maybe then he'll be able to beat Ray, but still at this point that seems very unlikely, because Ray seems to be way ahead him. But you never know. Maybe he does improve enough, and maybe that will serve Ray as a lesson. Maybe he'll beat Ray when Ray is feeling down or he has some personal struggles. But I don't think that's the kind of victory that he wants. I'm sure Nikaido wants to beat Ray at full strength, when they're both giving them all basically. And yeah, he wants a real match against the person he considers his rival. It was really cool to see their past story as well, and how they faced against each other many times, and how Ray won in the end at that semi-final. It was really nice to see that some things never change. They were the same the first time they play as they are right now, which it's really cool in a way. Again, the thing that I said at the beginning, the comparison between characters, you get to see how Nikaido and Ray haven't changed much, and they are kind of in the same position as they were at the start. And in the second half we get to see that Ray and Hina are in the same position, even though they express their feelings differently. Ray tried to run away basically from them, tried to remove his feelings about his family and whatnot, while Hina did so as well, but she didn't forget, unlike Ray, who completely tried to isolate the memories of his family and completely run away from his past. Hina did so, but as well, but she only does it in front of other people. When she's with other people, she's very cheerful. But when she's alone, that's when she cries, showing that she didn't run away from those memories. She isn't trying to hide them or something. Just she's not comfortable expressing those feelings with other people. It probably is the case for Ray as well, but instead of him still being reminiscent of his family, he tried to completely hide the feelings, unlike Hina, who only hides them when she's with other characters, which kind of puts an interesting contrast between them, and will probably be the base of their future interaction, I assume. If Ray ever goes in to remember his family and be emotional about it, I believe Hina is the key character that will make him remember those moments and those persons. But Hina is the second character that got really well characterized in this episode, and I'm really happy that we got more of her, because so far she was just a comedic relief character, but now we see that she has much more than one layer of comedic relief. She has another layer which showcases his real personality, and she's really hurt by the loss of her mother and her grandmother. The scene at the bridge where she was crying and screaming for her mother was probably the most powerful scene in this episode. It even got me a little bit emotional. I even started to think, what would I do if I was in her situation? And it's really rough if you think about it that way. If you watch it from the outside, maybe you don't get emotional, but if you put yourself in her shoes, it is a very strong scene, and I completely understand her reaction. Other than that, I really like that she's not a simple character. I'm expecting Momo, because she's so young, to be a very one-dimensional character. And in the last episode we got Akari, we saw more of her, and we've seen that she's a very complex character, a very strong character, and a very beautiful character at the same time. But in this episode, the focus was more on Hina, and while she's not as strong as Akari, she can't carry the burden as easy, or as Akari seems to be doing. She's definitely a good girl at heart. She's she definitely grew on me as a character, and maybe if the show focuses more on her, she may become the best girl of the series. But one thing that I want to talk about right now, usually when you watch anime, you want to talk about who's the best girl, and especially if it's a slice of life anime, usually that's like a topic that people are interested in talking. But I don't think this really applies to this show. I feel this show is much more emotional and much more profound than just finding the best girl, you know. There's much more to it than just finding a favorite character. They're all really well written, I believe. So far, that's what I'm getting from it. And there's really much more to show in this regard. And I probably won't be talking anymore about best girl and stuff like that, because out of respect in a way of this show, I really don't think this is the kind of show where we should be going and having like wife wars or something like that. Every girl so far has been really strong. Every character has been really strong. Not only the girls, the male characters have been really good as well. And one male character that got some showcase in this episode was the butler, Nikaido's butler. He's I don't know, he's the nicest person you could have by your side if you are Nikaido. He is obviously closer to him than even his parents. We know that Nikaido's a really rich kid, and I'm assuming his parents are busy with their business or whatever they're doing. And it's nice to see that he has someone who's very close to him and treats him as a parent, someone who protects him, someone who takes care of him, and to the point where he even cancelled his own vacation that he got from the family just to be with him. He even said that he didn't relax at all in the cruise because he was thinking about Nikaido all the time, which, you know, is really beautiful. It's nice to see that Nikaido has his own family in a way, the same way Rei has his own family with the sisters, without being blood related. You know, they're both, if you think about it, in the same situation. The closest person to Nikaido is his butler, is not his parents, not someone blood related, but rather a stranger in a way, you know. The same way the closest person who is the close persons, I guess, who are to Rei are the three sisters and maybe their grandfathers, excuse me. But yeah, that was really beautiful to see. And the last character that got a little bit of characterization during this episode was Rei. We saw that in the past he was trying to be nice by beating Nikaido as fast as possible because he saw that Nikaido was suffering. But it was really good that he realized that wait a minute, you know, this guy is trying to beat me with all his might, and I'm underestimating him. I'm disrespecting him in a way by trying to beat him as fast as possible. That was a really cool realization, really cool to see that he was able to see the determination in Nikaido's eye, and he respects him as a rival. Other than that, we got the scene at the end of the show where I said that he tried to forget his family, and he kind of succeeded in a way. Hopefully in the future he'll be remembering them, and hopefully he gives them a send-off just like the girls did to their mother and grandmother. He does something similar, you know, at some point during this show for his family, because I assume he didn't really... He tried to stop thinking about them and didn't give them a proper goodbye. And yeah, I really hope we get to see at some point Rei realizing that you shouldn't run from from past memories, and yeah, you should keep your family in your heart, even though they might not be anymore with you. The idea of family was probably the cornerstone in a way, or the main idea throughout this episode. We got to see, as I said, different families. We got to see Rei's lost family and Rei's new family, Nikaido as well with his butler, his non-blood related family, and even the sisters with Rei. The idea of family is something that will probably be something that we'll see in the future episodes as well, because Rei, we know that he has his adoptive father, I believe, or you know, the father figure that he beat in the first episode. I'm not so sure if he was the one who adopted him after his parents died, because obviously he's still a minor. But I believe that was what the show was trying to communicate, that for a while Rei lived with the guy that he beat in the first episode. So yeah, there's another family link that will probably be discussed to length in future episodes. And yeah, in general, the whole atmosphere of the show is gives you this vibe, this familiar vibe when they're all together, they're all doing stuff together. It's really beautiful. The atmosphere is really something that drags you in and makes you want more than this, because it's a really beautiful show, a really deep show, probably a lot sadder than we can see right now. Probably there's a lot of sad moments to come, but that's to be expected. And you know, if we have to be strong and get over them, just like Rei has to do the same. He has to be strong in order to defeat his demons, basically the demons that he holds from the past. So yeah, I'm really interesting what the next episode will give us. As for predictions for the next episode, I'm not so sure, because both Nikaido and Hina got a lot of focus this episode. And that was something that was expected for them to do in the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 episodes, but they've already did it in this episode. So I don't know. I personally would predict that they still focus on Hina for a bit, because it kind of ended with them on the bridge. Hopefully we get to see what happens the aftermatch of that night where she cried on the bridge, and hopefully, because Rei saw her crying, saw her at her weakest point, hopefully that makes her more comfortable with him, and you know, want to be closer with him and maybe be able to share more with him. So I'm thinking that she's the character that will be the main focus in the next episode. If that's not the case, maybe we'll get another Rei focused episode, maybe we'll learn more about his past or something like that. But yeah, I don't know exactly what will happen, we'll have to see. So guys, if you made it to this point in the video, please consider giving it a like. It really helps me grow out this channel. Obviously I'm at the beginning, I have very few subscribers, and it will really help me if you hit that subscribe button, and if you hit the like button as well, so this video gets more promoted, you know, on YouTube. Other than that, you can, as always, check my Patreon. The next episode should be live on there. If everything goes right, you should be able to watch it on Patreon right now. When this episode just gets uploaded to YouTube. And as well, if you want to watch my reactions with the actual anime footage on the background, you can do it on Patreon as well. And do not forget, I'm still considering a new anime to watch for this channel. I'm still taking suggestions. You can join my Discord. You can find all the information that you need on Patreon as well. So please go check it out. It's probably somewhere in the bottom of the screen. I don't know exactly which side. I believe the camera gets mirrored when I edit the video. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for my review for this episode. It was a fantastic episode. Really good direction from the beginning to end. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I've been Leo, the professional weeb. Sayonara.